Well, hello my little radiant bunnies. My name is ashleyellix, and in this video today I am going to be testing and trying out the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation. Now there is a lot of words on this packaging, a lot of fancy jargon, but none of that really matters if it doesn't actually look good and wear well. So we're going to be testing that today, seeing how it applies, seeing how it wears, and all of that. And if you're ready to dive in with me, then let's go, boo. Boop. Let's talk specifications and details real quick. So the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation is a liquid formula and it's supposed to be infused with hyaluronic acid. It claims to be medium coverage with a natural glow-like finish, retailing for $44 USD, and it comes with a standard 1 ounce of product in a pump tube packaging. Available right now at Sephora, Nordstrom's, Beautylish, ASOS, and of course Charlotte Tilbury's website. I picked up the shade 3 Neutral because I do tend to be a light neutral across most brands for reference, and it looks like there's about 30 shades you can choose from. This foundation is silicone based, so I will be pairing it with a silicone based primer, and I just noticed there is apple as the second ingredient listed, a fruit apple water extract thingy. What does it say it's called? An apple fruit water. I am allergic to apples and pears. Now I do try to stay away from lotions and creams and foundations and makeup that has an apple infusion just because I don't know how my skin's gonna react. That's why I haven't tried out any of the KVD concealers or the foundations that have recently launched, because they all have an apple infusion. So we're gonna try it. Like I said, I don't know how it'll react. It's just when I eat it usually. But like I can cut it for my daughter and stuff and it's totally fine. I do it all the time. They love apples and pears, but I'm curious to see how will it react if it's actually worn on my skin for a long time. So we'll see if we're in for a treat today. But anyways, the primer I'm gonna be pairing it with is the Touch and Soul No Poreblem Primer. Now an update for any of you guys who watch my TJ Maxx hunting videos, this primer is acting fine now. It was kind of like a weird consistency when I first bought it, really watery. But when I got home, I shook it up really well. I stirred it up and then I let it set. And then the next day when I went to use it, voila, it is now that like not fluffy, but more jelly-like consistency. So I don't know what that first pump was all about where it was super watery. It must have just settled weird. I don't know, but that was a little update for those of you guys who watched that and were wondering what's going on. I'm just gonna apply this really quickly and then we'll get down to it. And for reference, here is what my skin looks like before everything. I do have dry skin, so keep that in mind. I do have some discoloration that I usually like to cover up and kind of even out. And just like I've been doing in all of my foundation review videos, pretty much always, but especially lately, this last month, if you didn't know, I've been testing a lot of new foundations that have recently launched. I'm going to be doing half of my face with a brush, the other half with a sponge. Oh, wait, shoot. Wait, did this just break? Hang on, I'm just taking this out. Is that supposed to be like that? Did this just... Oh, that was weird. Okay, the little plastic inner lining of the cap just came off, but now it's in there and it's not coming out. Whoop, blooper, I guess. I don't know. Okay, so let me give the product a nice little good shake, and I will pump some on the back of my hand to make sure the product is nice and warmed up. Oh, good. Pumped right away. We love to see it. Let's start with the brush. And it talked about in the like how to use and stuff a lot about buffing it in. Ooh, that does look a little bit light. It looks a little light for me, but it talks a lot about swirling and buffing. So maybe it's almost like one of those mineral type of products. I'm not sure that they really focus on buffing. They mentioned it like 3 times. So I will buff it in like they say. Kind of a thicker consistency than what I've been using lately. It's definitely thicker than the Cosmetics Nude Glow. And like a little bit goes a long way with this one. Look at, I still have a lot left on my hand, but you can see, yeah, well, the color match isn't great for me. I should probably go up a shade. That's with 1 layer, as you just saw. Definitely a medium coverage. I'm not seeing a ton of glow, but more leaning on that natural finish they're talking about. Like a little tiny bit of shine, but not very much. Let's go in with a second layer, just a little bit like around this area where I tend to need a little bit more coverage. Maybe a little up here too. All right, and let's start applying with the sponge on this side. Since it is a thicker product, I'm wondering how it will apply with the sponge. All right, so that's 1 layer. I was making faces because it was like a little bit hard to apply with the sponge just because the consistency is so thick. However, when I go and inspect my face, it does look better with the sponge. So is that worth kind of doing the extra effort for? Quite possibly. So let me go in with a little bit more over here, just like I did the other side. Okay, and this is what everything's looking side by side in the before without anything on my skin, and after. You'll definitely see it is a true medium coverage in my opinion. I'm not seeing a crazy amount of glow, just like I initially didn't see, but it's very, very borderline, like natural glowy, just as they described. So it's really pretty in that case. But on the brush side, like I definitely am seeing kind of more of like a powdery finish, almost like it's sitting on my skin. So that is kind of weird. Sponge side definitely looks better. Let me go ahead and apply all my other products and we'll see how everything looks all together. How many times can I do this? Blah, 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 blah. All right, so this is with the makeup all done. It has been about an hour since I applied everything, since I was filming this little eye look for you guys to see in a later video. I am getting a little bit of creasing around my smile lines, around my mouth. A little bit right there if you can see it. So I can just tap that out and it will go away, but just keep that in mind. And a little bit of rolling into the fine lines around my eyes, my little smile lines around there. I think that is caused by that thickness of the product, but I am seeing also like a little bit of speckling on my nose, which usually wouldn't happen this early on, but my skin is looking glowy. So it is looking more glowy than it did initially when I put it on. So I think that I like that. If I had to pick right now, just purely off of first impressions without a wear test or anything like that, between this Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin and the newer IT Cosmetics Nude Glow Foundation, which one would I pick? It would hands down be the IT Cosmetics Nude Glow for so many reasons. It applied beautifully. It looked gorgeous on my skin. It kind of melted into my skin and looked one with my skin. It was more glowy, so keep that in mind. This one has a little less glow than that, but it wore amazing. I have used that one several times now with my fingers, all different types of ways, and it just looks gorgeous every time. This one, it's just a lot thicker compared to that one. It's not as thick as the Patrick Star foundation, the one size foundation that recently came out. Not as thick as that, but in between in consistency, not as moussey like. It's a liquid, very silky, but thick. So a little bit harder to apply. You need to be careful with it. I don't think I could do it in a rush very well, and still gave that medium coverage. I just don't like that I'm already kind of seeing some texturing and some creasing, but it looks good on the pores and stuff. But enough of that. Let's see how it wore throughout the day. My hair is not wearing well throughout the day, but let's see how the foundation wears throughout the day, and we'll see if my opinion changes at all in that time. Welcome to another 8-hour wear test, end of the day for a foundation review. This is how the beautiful skin is looking. Not so beautiful skin in my opinion. So the brush side looks extremely masky and separated. I'm really not liking the way it applied with the brush. It's just not where it's at. The sponge side does look better, even though it was hard to apply. It does look better, but you'll see how a lot of redness coming through. The nose does not look so hot. Any kind of smile lines I have, it's just like emphasizing. So I'm really not liking that. The glow is nice, but it almost looks more oily as opposed to some of the other ones I've tried lately that look glowy. I don't know what it is about it. Maybe because I look textured at the same time, that's like throwing me off, and it's not looking as healthy of skin as the other foundations I've been trying. Well, let me know what you guys think of that wear test. It just looks like really separaty and powdery. Even the sponge side looks a little, it's better, don't get me wrong, but it's still a little bit masky. Normal distance, yeah, even still, I don't feel like I look as healthy as the other foundations have given me that look, you know what I mean? So I'll continue to test it just like I have been with all these other ones. I'm gonna do like a recap review, I think, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on that. Yeah, in the next week or two, I will do like a recap, because I think I've tested 4 or 5 foundations in this last month. That's a lot for me, like so quickly, and I have some favorites. So I'll keep playing around with this one though, so it might be a couple weeks. That way I could get like a real opinion. And it could be as simple as changing the primer that I paired it with. Could be simple like that. So stay tuned, follow me at ashleyellix on TikTok and Instagram, and I'll see you guys later. Okay, bye.